You want your customers to get excited about what you're doing for them, about what the business can deliver for them. Give them a vision of what it looks like. Numbers are great. We're going to help you grow this by 10% or that by 15%. But often it goes over people's ears. What they really want to hear is what is the vision of what it is when it's done and achieved? What does it actually look like? And this is actually interesting to see. In all organizations, you'll find this thing called competing values. At the top is where you find the good people of HR. Anyone here from HR, by the way? I know we're talking to the distribution side. Anyone here from HR? No one? You? Hi. Stand up, let them give you a round of applause. Please, you must. No one here knows what you do. Isn't it interesting? Like, no one knows. What does HR do? Not sure. It's payroll. I'm kidding. HR says, guys, let's collaborate. Let's work together. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. Good HR, we're losing market share. They said, yeah, we need a team building. As HR says this, who walks in? Operations, usually distribution. They go, no, Oaks, listen, we need to be competitive, got to do things fast, we've got to get to the customer quickly, which means if the Oak doesn't deliver, I fire him. Don't tell me develop people nonsense, kumbaya, okay? If you don't like it, I'll meet you at the CCMI. And as they say that, in walk in my favorite department, sales and marketing. How do you know somebody works in sales or marketing? They're never at the office on a Friday past 12 o'clock. They're always in off-site client meetings. Fantastic. What is that? No idea. It's at the Dross. Love sales and marketing, right? Sales goes on conferences. Guys, we need to do new stuff. We need to break the mold. Finance says, why? Sales goes, why? Because they may take our lives, but never our freedom. What? And a sales says this, walk in my favorite department, the only departments everybody agrees we hate. Finance, risk, legal, compliance. Or as we know them more commonly, the ones who always say, no. Yeah, see? And they go, no, listen. We've got a set of standard operating processes, all right? The law is the law. It says the customer's got to fill in line number 34 in the application form and tick the box. I don't care if the customer doesn't like it. That's what you have to do, all right? Thank you very much. Thank you. Very good. Why is this important? Because it turns out to build a great team and a great organization, you actually need all four of these. If you're having a fight internally in the business and the team, you should be having it. It's important. It must happen. You must be driving towards it. That is the only way you ensure that you build a great team. And then the fourth and final law is to lead by the business case. Lead by the business case. What's that mean? It's important to remember that all of us here are individuals and human beings. All of us come from a particular way of seeing the world. We're all socialized to see things a certain way. And what happens is we bring that with us to work. So, Mo, you guys remember Fees Must Fall? Yeah? So 2 years ago when the Fees Must Fall marches were happening, I went to show solidarity with some of the learners. And I marched with them from Pretoria University to the union buildings. It's very long. As you can tell, my complexion hasn't recovered from it. But I went and, you do the right thing. And whilst we were marching, there was a young fellow who came and chatted to me. Hey, I love your work. I said, humbled. And he said to me, great. Can we take a selfie? I said, no, we don't take selfies. This is a march. We're sweating. This is umsabalazo, And he said, he introduced himself and he said, this is what I do, or this is what I'd like to do, etc. He had an interesting problem. He's finished his degree, hasn't yet gotten the paper because he hasn't paid his third-year fees. And he's supposed to do his CTA, which he can't do until he gets his degree. He can't get the degree because he can't afford to pay for it. He can't pay for it because he doesn't have a job. No one will hire him because he doesn't have the degree. So he's in this circular state of nothingness. So he says, this is my state. Would you pay for my degree? I said, absolutely not. I don't believe in charity. But we put out an internship in the company. You can come and be an intern. We'll pay you. And if you want to save money and pay, that's on you. He says, great. Comes and joins the firm as an intern. What does he do? Effectively, he fetches my prints, makes me tea. What interns do. But I said to him, if you come into the firm and spend some time with us, I'll promise you two things. Number one, I will introduce you and expose you to things you otherwise would not have seen. And number two, I will accelerate your work readiness by 10 years. Deal? Deal. Young guy, Kosanati, this high. So he comes into the firm, he comes into meetings, he sits down, he has a little notepad, he sits and he just keeps quiet. He says nothing. And when I look at him, he knows if I look at him and wink, means I need tea. My sugar's running low. Yeah? Executive. So, as luck would have it, we're sitting in a meeting. We'd made a particular investment in a company based in Cape Town. And we had a very specific problem with this company. And the problem was, we invested in it and was sold a certain story by management. And that story has since not been the case. We can't get rid of management because we've been through 2 separate capital raisings. And we didn't participate in the capital raisings because we no longer trusted management. And we're diluted down from 64 to 18%. Big problem. However, we still own the stock. So what do? So we're sitting in the meeting having a conversation, me and my 2 business partners. And then comes this little voice from the back. He says, "You guys know there's a way of doing this." I said, "What is it?" He says, "There is a weighted average of votes that's actually based on risk, not shareholding." What are you talking about? 15 years in corporate finance, I've never heard this before. He says, "That's how Christo Visa is the largest shareholder block in Pepco, but he only owns 13% of Pepco. It's because he invested the earliest." So the memorandum of incorporation, the founding documents of the company say his votes are based on when he invested, not how much he owns. He took the largest risk. Fascinating. Now, what do we need to do that? He says you need 60% of the board to approve it. Really? 3 of us in the meeting, all 3 of us sit in a 5-man board. This is the 60%. So we log the papers at the SIPC. Papers come back, we notify the other shareholders, we change the structure, we vote, we get rid of the management, put in a new management, the business is now profitable and generating cash flows and making money. But my point here is this. When he made the suggestion, let me be honest, there was a part of me that thought, this little boy, who's he? What's this about? It is. Because I thought, he doesn't even have his degree yet, and he's sitting in a meeting now telling us how things should be done. And then I realized that I have my own biases that I myself have to unlearn. That actually, rather than adjudicate his opinion on the base of from whom it is coming, I should adjudicate it on whether or not it holds on a business case, leading by the business case.